I'm good with all that, man. Don't worry about it.
All right, we'll see. It's 9 o'clock. Let's give it till about 9:02 or 3, and then I'll go ahead and we'll get
Start buying
started.
time. So I'm not blurry or nothing. You can see me okay?
No, I can see you fine.
You see my microphone up there?
I don't see that. I just see a little bit of cabinet.
Oh, okay. Good.
That's all.
I wish I could
Let's
use it.
see
It
here.
picks up a lot really good.
Okay, and I've got my. You'll see me. Well, if you see me at all, you'll see me looking down. Somebody's already. I'm
Wait.
using my cell phone and Skype to get questions because I'm not sure how to do it in here.
Uh-huh.
And rather than mess it up, I'll just be looking at my. Oh, this is Mike. This is the guy I met yesterday. Yeah, I'll be using my phone to get going. Okay, cool. We are starting now.
All right.
That was me voice messaging somebody. I will, yeah, let's give it a couple minutes. There's a viewers. Do you see the viewers thing at the bottom?
No, man.
Okay.
I don't see that.
Okay, it's probably because I'm the admin.
Right.
Let me get some water real quick, and we'll get started. Yeah, once this is done, renders, I'll just go ahead and send out the replay in the morning.
Say that again?
I said once it renders, I'll send out the replay in the morning.
Okay.
So people can look at it. All right, we've got a few folks peeling in here. Hey, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. We will get started shortly, about 9:05. If you have any questions, you can Skype me. You'll see in my lower third here it says host. Damon157 is, let me see here. It should refresh. In my lower third down here, okay, you see a host? Right? Right there. Damon157. If you want to ask a question, you can Skype me there, or you can respond to the email that I sent. I have my phone here, so I'll be checking messages while we are on. So 2 minutes, and then we're going ahead, and you can see Mr. X, but we'll introduce him momentarily. Okay, we've got a few folks on. Okay, you know what? They're late. That's fine. Let's go. So, as you guys know from listening, I've been wanting to provide you with a lot more value. More than likely, you viewed my video ranking blueprint, and I try and associate myself with other successful marketers and folks that are doing things, especially around the video marketing and SEO avenue. Well, I want to introduce you to the man with two first names, Joe Justin, aka Mr. X. And I thank you for joining me today, Joe.
I thank you for having me, and thank you and everyone on your list for being on the call, and hopefully we can show you guys some cool stuff tonight.
Oh, we definitely can. A lot of my subscribers have received the video ranking blueprint, which is basically a light version of how to get a video ranked. Now, since the Panda updates and the Penguin updates, a lot of my videos, very few of my videos have fallen down. The ones that have fallen because of, link loss. But I set it and forget it, and now I'm noticing I can't forget it as much anymore. I have to kind of get to it. You and I have had discussions we'll talk about later that have helped bring those videos back up. So I don't know how many people on my list have heard of you. I know I met you through Charles,
Right.
Charles Harper, and he spoke very highly of you. So we had a discussion, and I found out we're doing a lot of the same things. You are seeing significantly more success than me, which is why I wanted to pick your brain. And I'm sure a lot of the folks on the call would like to pick your brain too. So that being said, can you tell us a little bit about Joe Justin and how you got started online and what you were doing before you got started online?
Sure. What I used to do is I programmed for probably about 15 years. I was a programmer.
I did that
Various
too.
different languages, Primarily, what I ended up being was I used to write programs on the internet that worked. I started the intranet at Cigna Dental,
Nice.
probably in like 2000, about 2000 probably. I won the highest awards there was to win there for all the stuff that I did. Then I ended up wanting to go out on my own after a while, you know, because I was always had a side job or side business. I used to write I used to write custom programs. And so what I did is I started getting into search engine optimization, and when doing that, well, I started making you know, double what I was making at Cigna. So I had to go out on my own and basically self-taught in search engine optimization, or SEO. And once I started the SEO game, it became real easy. I went out there and started ranking sites in the top 3 without any issues. And then what happened was Google Places came along, what they used to call Google Places. I think they got a different name for it now. It used to be called Google Maps. And I targeted attorneys. And attorneys are very educated, you know, in the whole SEO game. So,
money niche.
Yeah, it sure is. And as long as you can perform, they pay you. Of course, you got to understand that, you know, being with attorneys, they have people calling them every day, emailing them, telling them how you're ripping them off or you're not doing a good job. But a long story short, what ended up happening was Penguin came along, and I had probably about 200 clients. I was making really good money, and overnight I lost 200 clients. Attorneys, if you got attorneys in the top 3 and you spoiled them for more than 3 months, they go to 4 or 5, they're calling you up and they're reaming you, and that's what happened. They're not loyal, and as soon as they dropped a little bit, they were gone. Wow. So when that happened, I couldn't rank anything to save my life, and I went and I bought all the guru stuff. I know some gurus, you know, firsthand, and I was listening to everything that everyone was saying, and nothing was ranking. Well, I knew what worked, and that was a private blog network.
Yep.
And you know what? I just, at the scale that I want to do it, I didn't want to have to do that or write software to maintain the whole thing. So I just kept studying, and what ended up happening was I started looking into video, and I started looking to what the gurus were saying then, seeing who do I follow, how do I get stuff ranked. And I tell you what, man, the gurus are telling you stuff that you don't have to do. If you look at all the things the gurus tell you today, you got to jump through hoops and then some to get a video ranked. And I looked at all the work that was involved. I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't want to do this.
I think that's part of making it complicated so it feels that you're needed, because I deal with that on my job where things are so convoluted that you have to go to that person to figure it out. Yeah. And I think that's probably why the gurus say you have to do A through Z and then do it backwards in order to get your video ranked, when in essence you've got proof that that's not really the case.
Exactly. I mean, they're talking about how you have to have X amount of views, X amount of subscribers. You better get them comments up there, or you're just not going to rank. Oh, and then by the way, you got to go out there. You got to do your social bookmarking. You got to do the social. Well,
a million ways to skin a cat.
Well, like you said, I proved that all wrong. What I do is the opposite of what everyone's out there is telling everybody, and it's not. You don't have to jump through hoops. You know.
I can tell you this, in that discussion that you were saying that you were doing what you were doing, and I've got my blueprint. It works. Again, there's more than 1 million. There's more. What did they say? There's a million ways to skin a cat.
There's more than one way to skin a cat. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what you're doing is working. What I'm doing is working. I'm always looking to add something to that.
Yes.
So there's definitely a bunch of different ways, and I figure I go the safe route. With what I've seen from you, it sounds like I'm the ready to aim fire guy. You're the ready fire guy.
I hit the ground running, man. That's it.
Which it's just a personality type, which is good. It's good to have all different types.
Right.
But whatever works, that's how I look at it.
But see, what your blueprint though, Damon, no one's teaching what you're teaching either. What I'm talking about is these gurus are out there saying all this other stuff. What you told me, you're not doing the same as what they are either. They're not even talking about getting good PR3, good PR links or nothing. They're talking about DA and PA, trying to confuse everybody that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what you do, like you say, you do it your way and I do my way, but it's the same thing. We're not out there looking and doing what all the other gurus are saying, buying all 25,000 views and doing all this other stuff. We're not doing that.
No.
So, that's what I started doing, and I discovered, the tools that I use, which I shared with you.
Crazy tools, yes.
Do I want me to share them tools?
Yeah, we can share them as we go along, but
Okay.
I tell everybody that's watching, he's giving me some good things that I've heard about, and he was actually my deciding factor first time I spoke to him for several tools. So it was just like, wow. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, okay, so a video, as far as I'm concerned, I've done video for years and ranked for years, but I never really paid much attention to it until recently, and it converts. So I was going to ask you, why video? Is that kind of the same reason?
Well, you know what? No, actually, my belief, it does convert. Yes, and it converts in a way that most people don't think. What we found, and my findings with because when you use YouTube, YouTube has they have Google Analytics for YouTube basically, so you can see who views your video, where your traffic's coming from, etc. So what I have found, about 20% of the people actually watch the video. All the rest of the people, there's no one watching your video. They're looking up something, a problem online. DUI attorney, West Palm Beach. They see the phone number, they dial it. If they like them, they hire them. Same thing with.
Well, the other thing, I have a theory on that too, which I think is more. It's actually more than a theory, but I don't have like absolute proof of it. Is when you put a video on Google, YouTube's one thing. YouTube, they go from top, the top however many. But when you put a video on, you put a video on YouTube and it ranks in Google, what shows up? A thumbnail.
Yes.
So if you're the only thumbnail there, or if you have, now that we have custom thumbnails, if you can take some conversion tactics from like display networking or Facebook advertising, what you've learned, big green box around with a call to action or something inside, attractive picture, then you're more likely, you can control those conversions a little more. It's kind of like when I still do SEO, but it's kind of like with SEO where you have the description that's just jumbled words picked out of, we do it Atlanta car dealer, where Atlanta is in the header, car is like way at the bottom, and dealer's all the way in the middle. So it just highlights those words versus discount Atlanta car dealer, 10% off to new buyers, call today.
Right.
If they read that and you're number 6, it makes sense. It's clear. So I've had case studies where I've done things where they've gone down to the 6th or 7th listing, which was mine, because it was clear and concise and made sense in what they were looking for, and they clicked it. So I think it's the same psychology. You're the only person showing up on that first page with a picture of Joe there, or a picture of the DUI attorney, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So
it sticks out, and if you're above the fold, you're getting a call. It doesn't matter.
That's a double whammy right there. Absolutely. Yep. Okay, so I have another question for you, which I have a couple questions I was going to ask anyway. Does technology scare you? But it sounds like it doesn't scare you because you take it the same route I've taken, because I used to be a developer. I run as fast as possible away from it now. But if you were a developer, then you're definitely technical. So
yeah, I'm actually, and I think you and I are both. We're not considered a nerd because the way we talk, we're outgoing. I call myself an extroverted nerd. I love technology, so I'm down with any technology. I'll try it, anything, and I think you're the same way. But we like to talk to people, and that's uncommon. Most of us nerds, we don't want to talk to people. Especially if you're developers, all we want to do is sit in our cube and write code, and people can throw some meat over the cube for us every now and then. We want to talk to people. We're opposite of that.
Yeah, it's definitely it was a gift and a curse, because I will say, from a development standpoint, I don't know how many people on the that are watching this can say I was so detailed. I hang out with a guy, Devon Brown, and he tries to be the dumbest person in the room, but he's really the smartest because of strategy. So when you talk to him about technology, I don't want to hear it. But when you talk to him about business, he will lay things out for you, give it to you on a napkin, and go with it, and it'll make you some money. So I've been so detailed, I have to pull myself back from not being so detailed and just keep it simple. Right. That's been my challenge. But over the years, I've kind of go through that. So obviously technology doesn't scare you. Now I know you focus on online marketing, local marketing, which is a great market. Are attorneys? Do you choose attorneys for a particular reason, or that's just where the money is?
Well, because that's what I started with the when I used to do SEO. I know how to talk the language. I know that they pay, they understand. And when I was doing SEO, this was like Penguin came in 2012. So I started doing on my own like 2009, 2010. And the way that I get clients, I wasn't getting any responses from any other niches. I sent out except chiropractors. I got a lot of responses from chiropractors, but you know what? I didn't get one. Not one signed agreement. And I went down to like 150 a month for SEO. Not one chiropractor signed up. But plumbers, AC repair. I had an AC repair site #1, and it was in Austin, Texas. And we were getting calls. We couldn't give away the calls back then. And we actually got a TV station call us up and say, hey, we want to do an interview tomorrow at 5 o'clock because of AC ripoffs. Can we come out? Sure. So the whole day I was calling AC people. I finally got someone to actually take calls, and as soon as the interview was over, I didn't hear from them again. So I stayed with attorneys because I know I don't like to be a pioneer, and I don't want to have to educate people. So yes. Attorneys are that. Now you can use my strategies to get AC repair people, plumbers, because I'm doing it. All different kinds of niches. So okay. Now the blue collar folks, they understand now they got to be on the first page of Google, or they're not getting any calls either.
Yeah, it just took them a while because I have my story is I got a guy I was bartering with doing some landscaping, and I did some non-traditional for landscaping, non-traditional strategies. The kid, he was 21 years old when I met him. He's about 24 now, and he just sold his business. I created one video for him in his area that had some pretty well-to-do people in it, but he was like, I forgot to tell you, Damon, I've been getting calls out the wazoo. I was like, okay, what does that mean? I know what that means, but what does that really mean? I figure a couple $100 a month. He said, I'm getting about 30 calls a month. Most people think 30 calls a month, that's not that much. And the search, when I did the search rankings for it and I looked at, the estimated count from Google, it was about 140 versus a bigger keyword, like say Atlanta landscaping, was probably like 300 or 400. Most people be like, well, that's only 140. That's what that means to us. But from a customer standpoint, from a person with a business, a brick and mortar business, those 30 calls, he picked and chose who he wanted to. At $100 a month, he ended up making from that one video $3,000 a month extra, which comes out to about $40,000 to $50,000 to his bottom line from one video.
That's awesome.
And now he's a huge testimony to me. Anybody, he just passes me along like, yeah, this guy knows the stuff. Like, I don't know what he does. He gets you ranked or something, but my phone was ringing.
Right.
So.
And that's what they want, right?
Yeah. That's how I've always sold it. Is I'll get your phone ringing. I'll put more business in your door, or you'll get more business and more money in your pocket.
Right.
And when they can see that, it's like, oh, because we've got. I'm actually running a case study right now, which I haven't really explained in my list yet, but I'm actually pre-ranking 10 properties, and I'm going to go out and sell those 10 properties as a case study because I now, life events over the last 3 years, I've gone back into the workforce. For 5 years, I was consulting on my own. So it was pretty much a do-or-die situation. And I'm back in the workforce, but I still have, the passion to do what I do. So I'm running a case study where I'm trying to at least make half of my salary within a month. We're not spending a lot of time doing video ranking, and step by step, I'm following it through case study. And then I will go I'll share that with my folks to show that, you can actually do this. It's not, I'm not some special extra guru guy that just knows it all. You have a process, step by step. Here's what you need to do. So, do you do any affiliate marketing? I know there are a lot of folks interested in the affiliate marketing from the video perspective. Have you done any launch jacking, affiliate marketing?
I have not. You know what? And I'll tell you why. I've been so busy with clients. Serious. I mean, if
that's good.
You want me to give you some numbers? When I first started to do the video, because I don't like to do things if I can't perform. If I don't want to sell anyone a bill of goods. When I finally proved to myself I could consistently every time ranked videos, I started in July 2013. So I went a whole year without marketing. From April 2012 to July 2013 is when I started actively marketing. Okay. And in July, my receivables was 5,500. In October, my receivables was 12,500. And it's only grown since then. That was in a little less than 90 days. I went from zero, actually 1,500 in receivables, because I had a few other clients that stayed aboard, to 1,500 to 12,500 in less than 90 days doing this. So nice. No, I haven't been doing affiliate marketing, but you know what? I know what my monthly income is going to be every month as long as the people pay me. That continuity is a lovely thing. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's great, and you know, it's not hard. I do this out of my house. I don't have an office. You know, I have a couple of VAs that work for me, and when I need them, I say, hey, here's my work. Boom, boom. They do what I need to do. You know, I have a sales force now that it's all hands off. Yeah, that's what I'm working on, because I'm not the sales person. Right. I can sell in writing. I can write some sales copy. I can write a sales letter, but face to face, I sell from discussion, from talking, and I have a tendency to over talk, as opposed to a salesperson like, for instance, my buddy Devon. He'll sit down and sell you your glasses and your mic to you again while it's on your head. That's how good he is. Right. So I don't have that skill, but I can. If you talk to me, you'll understand. I know my stuff, and I know how to talk, but it doesn't work well if you're trying to. I'll be on the phone for 45 minutes versus a salesperson that's really good can be on for 10 to have the sale. Right. Close. Just not my thing, but I do know how to find those people. And that I can just say, you know, let me do what I do, and you do what you do, and I have no problem giving somebody a cut of some money that I wasn't going to make in the first place, unless they help me out. So I'm in no way selfish. So anybody listening, if you're a good salesperson and you can sell SEO, email me. That's a little side plug. But okay, so. All right, now let's get into it, because I had some folks asking me, you know, what is this? What are the secrets? What do you do? So I'll ask you one thing I know a lot of people will always want to know, and there are a lot of non-action takers that'll always ask this question just to get it, but there are some action takers out there as well, people that are stuck and need to kind of move on. So the question is, it's a two-part question. How did you get your first customer, and then how do you get your customers now? My first customer? It's real funny. I ranked a video for an immigration attorney in Miami, okay? And I had this client before, Penguin. He was a really good, easy client. He didn't ask for reports. He just paid every month, the kind you want. And what happened was, as I got this thing ranked, and it was like #1 and #2 for like green card Miami, green card attorney, all the green card terms. And I set it up with a call tracking phone number, and one day he got a call. What that is for anybody that doesn't know? Sure. It's what I do is I use a software that interfaces with Twilio, and Twilio is like a virtual phone number. They cost $1 a month for each phone number, and then a penny a minute for any calls that come in. And so what I do is I own the phone number, and I forward when the calls come in, I forward any calls that come into that call to a client or anyone I want to. So that's what I did with this gentleman, and I set it up. And the guy, it was like a 15-minute phone call, okay? And I recorded it, because you can record these phone calls. I recorded the whole thing, and at the end, my client says, so, how did you find me? And he goes, oh, I found you on YouTube. I looked, I said, what the hell? YouTube? Somebody's actually looking on YouTube for an immigration attorney. Go figure. Even though he's #1 in Google, he said YouTube. And the guy said, oh, okay, thank you. So when I called him the next day, I said, hey, you know that call you got yesterday? And the guy said, he found you on YouTube? He goes, yeah. I said, that's my video. Check it out. Go to Google. Type this in. Boom. He got it. He signed up that day. And what do I do now to find clients? I email blast. And that's why it's so easy to have a sales force going all day long. I not only have a sales force, I even have another gentleman. I pay him 50% of all his sales. He has his own phone room. He sells for me. So that's all I did. So for him, all I got to do is rank the videos. Okay, that's an awesome setup. Can you hear me, or am I no, I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay, good. Okay, I got my buddy Mike asking a question, so I'll ask that in a minute. So you said you email your customers, you email blast. How does that work? Do you just pick up the phone book and go online and find them, or how do you do it? I use those scraper programs you see in the Warrior Forum all the time. I use GSA email spider is what I use. And that goes out and scrapes emails for me, and then I bring the emails back. I have a nice, sweet little email template that I use. It's about 3 sentences long, and it works. People call me, or they email response, say how much, what's the cost, what's the catch. There is no catch until they finally call me, because every response, you never try to sell them. Listen, if you're going to do try to email, you don't try to sell them on the first email or even the second email. They ask how much, you tell them $750 a month. Don't try to sell them with 3 paragraphs. Thank you for your interest in my service. I'm glad you responded. But no, man.
Get straight to the point.
Straight to the point. And that's how I do it, man. And it works for all niches. So that's how I do it now.
That was actually the question. How much do you charge for your videos? That's what
it really depends. It could be $750. Listen, if a dude calls me from like Philadelphia, it's gonna be a little higher than $750. If a guy calls me, if it's a AC repair guy, maybe in I don't know, Tupelo, Mississippi, I might charge him $350. He might talk me down to $250. My attitude in this is, if a guy's ready to pay me $250 today, and he's got his check out, and what I'll try to do is get multiple months. If they want to lowball me, sure, no problem. Sign up today, pay me 3 months, and it's sold. That's how I wheel and deal with these guys, man, all the time.
Get creative with it.
Yeah, because let's think about it. How hard a work is this? If you work 1 month hard at it, you get them ranking. You don't really got to do much else. He just paid me 3 months up front, right? $750 to get this thing going. Now, come the 3rd month, if he don't pay me, no problem. I just forward the calls to someone else to get another client. But
that's the advantage of the call tracking.
Exactly. So if he doesn't pay me, I get another client because it's already ranking. The walls are down. If he does pay me, great, man. I get $250 a month, and I'm really not doing a whole lot for this guy. You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
If someone wants to pay me today, I'm taking the money instead of having to keep calling, keep finding other people to buy this. That's just my attitude.
Okay. I also look at it as how much is a customer. This is when you get into the technical business side. How much is a customer worth to you? If I know I can get you at least 5 customers a month, and your customer's worth $500, that's $2,500 a month. Why wouldn't you pay me $1,000 a month? If I can guarantee you're going to do that. As long as I can get you the leads, I can get you the calls, but I can't control your sales force or your capability to take the calls, because I've noticed a buddy of mine who's working in an agency in Orlando, and the client was like, well, we're not we're not closing the amount of business we needed to, and after they listened to the calls, they weren't answering the calls. People were leaving messages, so that's why they weren't closing them. You can't close them if you don't talk to them. So,
well, see, that's a key point what you just made right there. If you set up call tracking in the right way, you can use that as a consultant tool. Because actually, one of my beta testers even said this. He had a client just like that. In the first month, they got 100 calls. Only 20 of them were answered. He was like, dude, you gotta answer the phone. These people are calling, looking you up on Google. If you don't answer the phone, they're calling the next person. So you gotta answer the phone. But you can not only can you track the calls and what's being answered, you can record the calls to see if their staff is ticking people off. People are hanging up on them if they're being rude. You don't have to tell the staff you're recording, but you got
all the numbers are recorded, so you can actually use that database later.
Yes.
That's a whole nother sales piece, but if you have 100 calls, that's 100 calls that are in a database that you can SMS message. You can give them back to call, how was your service, or if they didn't buy, there's a whole lot from a business marketing perspective that you can use that for, which is also an upsell, because you can tell them, you don't have to worry about remembering what the calls were. We get them for you every month.
Right, and you can give them their own login. If you use the tool that I use Analytic Call Tracker. If you use that tool, you can give them their own login. They can do all that themselves. It's even a better sell.
Yeah. Now, as far as you said you had a call staff, how does that work? Is it overseas? Is it do you just pick
man, it's local.
Random?
It's here local. This guy, he loves what I do, and he says he used to sell SEO. He used to work for a company that I used to work for. He said, listen, you give me 50%, I'll hire all the salespeople, I'll take care of all the sales, and we'll just give you the what you got to rank for. So what they do is they pay me, and I pay them when the client pays me. Okay. So that's the only way to do it, because I'm not gonna go out there and let someone represent my business, my client, all my examples, all my demos when they're talking to people, and then I've got to wait for them to pay me. It ain't gonna happen.
No, absolutely, I can understand that. Because my thought is I'm looking for a hungry salesperson that's gonna work on commission only, and I'll explain how they'll get paid. I'll have to talk to them, and basically they're selling results. I think it's much easier to sell results than tell somebody I can get you ranked versus type this in, go there. That's my property. I own that. You can have it.
On my last training I did for my students just the other night, I explained how to do all that, what you're talking about, in detail.
Okay.
In detail. Yeah.
Good. All right, so I don't believe you as far as you can rank sites or you're on the first page. So can you prove it?
Sure. I just so happen to have some examples.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to mute my ugly mug here so you take up the full screen.
Okay. Let me start over here. DUI attorney, West Palm Beach. This is one of my clients, and we're ranking for probably about 10 to 15 keyword phrases here for this one video. We got DUI attorney, West Palm Beach. Let me see. We can do like in West Palm Beach, which does get searched a lot, but we should be there. Okay, we're down a little bit. Sometimes they dance around, but we can do like best DUI attorney in West Palm Beach. And there we are right here. The other day there was 2 here. Sometimes our channel comes up on this one. Another one we have is DUI attorney Virginia Beach, which is we're number 1. We're above everything. I see just the other day we were like number 2. We're right below AVVO. And this site really is not a site that people can look up attorneys. It's more like you want to ask attorney questions and stuff like that.
Okay.
If you've already been arrested, you're gonna definitely want to call this dude. You don't want to go here. So.
Gotcha.
And I haven't. Go ahead.
There's not a lot of competition there.
No, don't let the results fool you or the locations fool you. In the legal arena, if you're in the top 15 or 20, you have an SEO dude, whether it's an agency or he's in-house working for you. If you're in the top 15 or 20, don't let that fool you one bit. We've had in one of our smallest markets, we came in and we were dominating. I mean, this other company was dominating, this other attorney, and we started dominating. We were like the top 2, top 3. Our channels were ranking, and then all of a sudden when it come time to pay the bill, my attorney said, "Hey, dude, we're not ranking." I'm like, "Get the hell out of here! We are dominating." I go, "Look, they got whoever this other attorney was, our channel was banned." I logged in and said, "Your channel's been banned for life." Well,
how does that happen? Do you have any hypothesis as to why that happens, or what you can do to prevent that, or even do it?
Why it happens is jealousy. Okay, it used to be a lot easier. They changed the rules a few months ago. Where you could just click a flag thing and for the whole channel, and then it gets flagged. You're supposed to have a human review, but they don't do that. And I'll tell you how I know, because I had another one from another one of my clients in a different city. Their video, it was dominating everywhere. It got banned because of copyright issues. Well, it was his video. He made it. He used the Adobe effects. He has his own guy that makes the videos, but it got banned for copyright, and they wouldn't take it. They wouldn't give it back. So I just re-ranked it. How I prevent it? Everything that I do, I put on my hard drive. On my videos, my descriptions.
Oh yeah,
everything.
yeah.
For all my keywords. So here's what I did for the one where they got the whole channel banned. They were back up number 1 and number 2 like they used to be when they got us banned. Within 6 weeks, what I did is I reloaded all the videos with the same Gmail account. I just made another YouTube channel. Same videos, same description, same everything. Within 6 weeks, we were dominating them again. I don't think they went in. Well, they haven't, because I think they look pretty stupid, because we were dominating them again, and they didn't go back and try to get us banned again.
Now, do you rank anything else besides videos, like a press release, so you can take up 2 or 3 spots on their first page?
No, I don't see any press releases. I know for one of my clients, he had a guy that was doing press releases, and it would come on the first page, but it's not like the other niches where you can go on to take up the top 2 places or nothing like that. His press releases a couple times made it in the top 10, and that was it. And they were for they weren't that competitive cities either. He was doing it for like Fort Lauderdale, which is not that competitive. It's not as competitive as like Virginia Beach or West Palm Beach. But they're all competitive. Like I said, you got 20 different people, but you don't see press releases in the legal arena. When people tell me stuff works, I go to my niche right here and I start looking. You don't see too many hangouts. You don't see too many press releases.
Okay.
You don't. You see YouTube videos, and you see, you know what else you see a lot of? Is these guys, they're smart. They hire the right people. You see a lot of the video sitemaps that people are doing, and the videos show up, and it's their website, and the video thumbnails.
Oh, yeah, video. That's a secret I learned a while ago. That it takes a little more to get ranked, but if you set up a site, like you had a successful attorney site or video ranking, you can create a lead gen site, connect those videos to that with a sitemap that if you go to in WordPress, if you type in video sitemap, there's a really good one that shows up, or use Ustavolt. But it takes a little more to rank, but it's the ranking the actual site as opposed to just the video. But again, whatever works.
Right. But you know what? My strategies beat most of them. Actually, the one guy showed you over here, for I think it was just DUI attorney in West Palm Beach. His was one of those. Let me see.
Okay.
This guy here. See, that's a video sitemap. The video comes up here.
Yeah. That's you, or that's your competition?
No, that's my competition. I'm below on this one. I'm not even here. I don't know what I think I hit a wrong thing here. Maybe I do that. But some keywords you're good. Like we just did it a second ago. Oh, there I'm right there. But we're ranking for all over the place for this one. But we got the DUI Virginia Beach. Now here's one that's similar to yours. I wanted to show this because listen, everything's not perfect. But Philadelphia car accident lawyer. What happened here was you said you talked about link loss and you set and forget and didn't do nothing. Well, this guy, we used to be #1 and our channel was #2. And it's not there anymore. And it was because I wasn't putting blasting links at it. But what happened was as soon as the update came and I saw it wasn't there, I just went in, turned on the campaigns about a week and a half ago, and we're already here, and we're going to be climbing up soon. The other day I saw the channel popping up in here. Now it's it dances around with the YouTube thing. Sometimes people will get disappointed, like they might rank it. But it's worse with YouTube because what happens is you might be up in the top 3 and you're like, woohoo! You go call your client, hey man, you're in the top 3, and then by the time they look at it or you email them, they look at it in the afternoon, it's gone, and it's not even in the top 100 for like a week or two. That normal.
Just happened to me yesterday. I'm ranking a video for a coach that's helped my son.
Yeah.
And the keyword I'm going after, he was at like 45. Nowhere in the top 100, but I'm not worried about it because I just hit it with about 14 high PR3 links.
Yeah.
And I'm running a campaign to it, so I always do this. I get nervous, like, oh crap, I did something wrong. But then what happens? Lo and behold, 7-10 days later, boom, popped up at the top and sticking there.
Yep.
So it's the Google dance all over again, just on YouTube.
Yep. And that's what happens. But I saw like I said, I saw the channel was up here, in like the top 2 or 3, and this was still down. Actually this was lower. So I'm looking to see it might be up in here. No, could even be on the second page.
Now, did you say you have a private blog network, or you just heard about that?
To me it just looked like too much work.
Yeah, I have one now, which actually is semi-automated. I've got about half a dozen sites. I need to get some more. It's pretty easy. Once you get the right, you have to have the right tools. Once you have the right tools, I have a system set up. I'm big on systems and following systems, but I haven't really done a whole lot with them. So, what are your strategies? What are you using to get your results?
I'm using GSA Search Engine Ranker.
Okay, and I actually just bought that because you were the last person that I heard talk about it and gave it a try. And so far, I'm seeing some preliminary impressive results from a site that drops from page 1 to about page 4 and back up to page 2. Probably by end of the weekend, I'll be back on page 1.
And that's all I use. I mean, that's my tool. I don't jump through the hoops as I was telling you before. And I was we were talking previously. It does find PR3s and PR5s and stuff, and you'll see them come up if you tell it to show you the PR links. And there's a lot to it. There's a lot of variables. So it's a really good tool. And when you first starting out, man, your lists are so awesome. It builds lists for you to know where to drop the links. So it works great, man. I can't stress that enough.
It's easy.
Well, yeah. At first it's a little intimidating at first if you're not
It
used
is.
to using tools. But once you learn it, I mean, you know, I show you how to do all that, man. I show you
I
how to
set
do
it up just like you showed,
Yeah.
and it worked. Now I'm going to get into the details to find out because it is intimidating. You look at like all these buttons to press and settings.
Yeah. You can
I'm going
screw-
to figure out what that means, but I followed your lead as far as setting it up basic. So far, it's working, and you know I'll learn because I used to use Ultimate Demon, and that was I had Ultimate Demon for 2 years, paying $47 a month. So I spent a pretty nice chunk of change for something that was difficult and much more clunky and harder to work, and I didn't get as good results, probably because it was so hard
Right.
to set up. Once I got it, but it was always like, man, I really don't feel like going in here and setting this up and trying to make sure I get the list and pull the list over and set them. I got to insert like 5 different lists and then verify them and then create my content. It was like another job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So GSA was between that and Wicked Article Creator, which I had before. I was using Wicked Article Creator with Ultimate Demon, but I kind of I saw how everything tied together. I was like, all right, I'm gonna give this a try, and I saved myself a whole lot of money by
Yep.
setting up.
I have a beta tester that used to use Ultimate Demon. I have another one that even paid for extra training for Magic Submitter, and all they do is use GSA now.
Yeah, I've heard Magic Submitter too. I've never touched that one, but I mean they were decent. But this is just I'm getting results fast, and I don't have to do all the extras that you have to do in. You know, there's link pyramids you can set up, but you can still do the same thing in GSA. You just have to run your links and then pull out your live links and run another campaign going to those links. And same concept, it's just not as like when you look at SE Nuke and Ultimate Demon and probably Magic Submitter. I think the appeal of those is simply because it's more of a WYSIWYG. It's got, you know, you drag this here, you point the link to it, and you can kind of set it up kind of like a flow chart, whereas GSA, it's all raw, but it's more powerful.
Oh, it's way more powerful. It truly is.
So that's what I'm thinking. I will say that I actually have a question. Are you ranking, say, Philadelphia Car Attorney? If you click on, if you go to YouTube and type that in, where are you looking? How are you looking?
I use YouTube as a gauge. It's probably, I haven't looked in a while, but more than likely it's probably number 1 or number 2. Once my videos, with my strategies, once my videos hit number 1 or number 2 on YouTube, I know it's only a matter of time before I'm on the top of Google. So Philadelphia, if I can spell that right.
Yeah, I'll be up there next week.
Philadelphia car accident lawyer. There it is right there.
Number 3? Okay.
Number 3.
Okay, and that was another question I had. What types of videos work best for you from a conversion standpoint, or does it make a difference?
Like I said in the beginning, it really doesn't make that much of a difference because our findings are about 20% of the people are actually watching the videos. They're actually dialing the phone numbers. Now, if you have a spine surgeon, I'm thinking that people might be watching the videos more than 20%. But for like, you know, DUI attorneys, AC repair people, those kind of niches, we're not seeing a lot of people watching the videos. So to say what converts better, you know what?
You know what? I will have to say, and I know we talked about. Did you get a chance to look at the niche keyword ATM?
Yes.
Okay. And what I'm noticing, because being SEO and having different types of keywords, I guess it would also depend on intent. Because if you're just saying Philadelphia accident lawyer, that's somebody looking for a lawyer. They just want that problem solved. But if you look at the intent of, okay, I just got 2 tickets and I have to go to court, what can I do? If there's an educational video or something, I'm going to type in, how can I beat this ticket? That would be handled a little differently than somebody that's instantly looking for a lawyer, because they may eventually need a lawyer. But right now, we need to give them some information about how to help them out. Kind of, you have somebody basically a hyper buyer and somebody that's on the fence, depending on the keyword. So I'm thinking that would vary based on if it's educational, is it I'm ready to buy now, or I'm just looking for information.
Right. I think
noticed talking heads for me seem to work the best, because what I've done is I've hired about 4 different actors, and wrote 2 different scripts, long script and short script. And this is the marketer in me, and I'm pushing those out across to 10 different markets, and I'm gonna wait for my results to come back and see which ones are working better than others, and then that'll kind of be the subset that I'll go with.
Right.
But that's that's more advanced. And what I like about your course is the simplicity of it. But it's simple, but it's really, really powerful, because I looked at the tools that you provided and a couple other things. I was just like, wow, I didn't know about this. And it's, again, ready, shoot, everything is there.
And you know what? The simplicity almost hurts people, because everyone
think it's too simple.
Right, and they want to add their own twist. And on my sales page, on my beta tester testimonial, he even admits that's what he did. It's a really smart guy. He's like a level 3 support. He works with servers and stuff like that. And he did that for the first 45 days. He kept putting his own twist on my simplicity, and he wasn't getting any clients. And I'm thinking, dude, why aren't you getting no clients? Give me your emails. He wouldn't do it. He always was busy. Finally gave me his email. I said, man, look at this. This is a freaking 3-page email. How you think I'm going to get any clients? So he went back to my simplicity. Guess what? He's making a full-time living now doing this.
Yeah, it's definitely doable. I mean, if you look at, you can do an easy $3,000 a month every month and compound it if you set it up. You have it set up and you just part-time. And that's the thing that's, I guess, gets folks, because like I said, I've been there, come down. I was full-time marketer. I was doing I was doing client work. I did a little bit of client work, but a lot of it was like build my list, affiliate marketing, which I still do. But bad decisions and life events happen, and I'm kind of picking up the pieces now. But it's still doable with a job. Is basically where I'm going. Where as long as you have a system that works, and you follow that, put a little bit of time in every day, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever you can spare, you can get out of that job, or you can keep the job and just build yourself a nice, comfortable living.
Yeah.
And you don't have to. Eventually, you're gonna have to talk to somebody, but you won't have to talk to. You don't have to be that salesperson, which that's kind of pushed me off.
Well, if you look at my system, the people are contacting you. You're no longer a salesperson. All you're doing is negotiating the terms, because you got what they want, and they're calling you.
And that's the lovely thing, because you know what? This is one thing, and actually I had a strategy session with Devon, and this is kind of how we put this idea together. And one thing he said, which hit me hard, is, and you may be able to relate to this or not, but what he said, and this is exactly what I do too, I do something really well, and then I stop and move on to something else. And I'm sure that resonates with several people on the call, because actually, I'll give you an example. I used to run websites, believe it or not. I used to run websites in a local classified ad magazine. Why would you run websites in a paper? Because it worked, and there was nobody there, and I was doing cookie cutter sites for like $200. Cost me $30. Every $30 I spent, I think I made $300. I stopped doing it. Why? I can't tell you. I just did.
Right.
But it worked, and it's actually one of the strategies that I'm going back with. Now, from the SEO perspective, do you do anything else with your videos once you're ranking? Or you just do SEO?
I just do I optimize the channel. I optimize the description. I optimize the videos in every way possible. As you can see, some of my in almost all my titles in my videos, I don't do the 2 keywords in the title bit, but I still rank for multiple keyword phrases. And all I can say about that is, thank goodness for GSA, man, because GSA, you can put in 10, 20, you can put in 100 keyword phrases. The more keyword phrases you put, you want to rank for that. It's just the longer it's going to take to rank. And that's how that works. So I don't do any other stuff. I got video. Look at these videos. The screen you're looking at right now. If you go to these videos, they probably got 3 or 4 views. I got the top 4 here. Now, I'll preface it with this. This was a training I did. The first training we did, a lot of the questions we got from people were, oh, I don't have any videos ranking. What do I do? What do I do? I said, well, you got 2 options. First option is this, and I recommend everyone do. You pick some little niche. You pick your niche. After you pick your niche, you go to some small city and you start getting some rankings. And that's what you do. So
how do you get your videos? How do you like? Do you create them? Do you pay somebody to create them?
I use PLR videos. I also have another one where I do presentation videos, similar to the one for Philadelphia Car Accident Lawyer. If you look at that one, that is the awesome video. And if you look at that, that cost me $147. $147 to make. I charged my client $700. He was happy to pay because it's so professional.
So you paid a vendor to do that for you?
Yeah, and I give you that. I give you my sources. I'm not afraid to do that because I want everyone to succeed. Everyone can succeed Absolutely. If they just do this, man. There's so much work out there. There's so many niches, and you know what? Here's another thing. I could talk to somebody and say all the right things and show him all the proof in the world, and he might not like me. I might be too arrogant for him. I might be too confident. And then you come right behind me next day, and you don't have any proof, and you're charging twice a month, he might buy from you.
That's true.
There's so much work out there for everybody needs this. It doesn't matter where you are. So, the fastest, quickest way to a 5-figure a month income is getting yourself an offline business where you can sell services and you can have a residual income. This is it.
Every business needs more business, or they're just swimming in it and they don't care, and that you don't want to go after them. But every business that I can think of needs more customers, needs more people in their door, wants more money, needs more exposure, and that's what marketing does for them.
So getting back to this example, Damon, what I did was I told exactly what I told my students. I did, and if you can look, June 9th is when I uploaded these. This was April 18th. June 9th, I uploaded these. And it comes up on Ultimate Handyman Fort Lauderdale. That was last week, right? Yeah, 10 days ago. Oh my! Now they're all up there.
Yeah, they are.
Look how many. Every city I did, they're up on the first page of Google. Now you get some cynicals in your group too, and they're like, "Oh, well, this keyword phrase isn't searched that much." I'm like, "That's not the point. The point is this: you asked me how to start your business, and I'm telling you. Let me ask you something. How hard would this be to sell to a plumber?"
The way I counter that is, well, that video doesn't get that many searches. Who cares? If it gets one search, a handyman's what, $75 an hour? You think a handyman's going to be upset that one person called and they showed up and they made $150?
Well,
I don't think a handyman's going to have a problem with that.
But the whole point of this exercise was to rank videos so you could sell it, right? So you could sell your services. So I told him, I said, yeah, how hard would it be to sell to a plumber? I'm the SEO guy, you're the plumber. I go, see, check this out. And you go, oh, Mr. SEO guy, I don't know about that. That's not that a competitive a keyword phrase. It's not searched that much. Hell no. He's going to say, you did the top 4 for this? Dude, can you do it for my city? Yes,
you're
I can.
You're a wizard.
This is how it works. Yes.
You're a wizard and somebody that doesn't know SEO or doesn't know marketing like that, but they do understand the internet is where it's at. You're a wizard if you can tell them type this in and it works. I'll give you an example. If you type in how to search engine optimize a website,
right,
my video pops up. That's my calling card when I talk to people like, you know SEO? Type this in your search engine. See that BMW on the front? That's my video. Play it. It's 9 minutes long and you'll hear my voice.
That's
they
awesome.
Look at that like, oh, well, you must know how to search engine optimize if you show up for how to search engine optimize a website. I do.
Exactly.
That's results.
Right. And that was, you know what? These were on the first page in 3 days.
Okay, nice.
Okay, so they're still there. Actually, one more popped up, and you know what? I've gotten 2 calls from these rinky-dink videos that I just did it as an exercise. I got 2 calls. One call, I even found a handyman that's supposedly gonna go out and give this lady a quote, and he's gonna pay me for it. You know?
Yeah. So, 2 calls could be $1,000. Like that's one thing that I tell my students or subscribers or folks that I talk to about marketing. Who cares how much the count is? It's not about how many people search for it. It's about how targeted it is. And is that person ready to pull out their credit card and pay that service provider? Are they a desperate buyer?
Absolutely.
Targeting, and it's still, I have to wrap my head around that sometimes because targeting is the key. I will share something that I've done by accident because I try and get ranked in YouTube and Google, and the whole video ranking blueprint is tied around the natural progression of a truly viral video. So, I have the steps that I go through. One of them is it needs to get views. I was using some tools. One of them stopped working. The other one, they charged too much, and I wasn't going to commit $100 when I didn't need to. So I said, what can I do? So my intent was to get real views that can't be classified as fake. Because, Google and YouTube, they're the same company, and YouTube's starting to crack down on views.
Right.
And they could tell fake views. So I said, what can I do? Let me try some Facebook ads. So I ran some targeted Facebook ads to that niche, and wasn't my initial thinking, but not only did I get real views, I think I spent $50 total and got several hundred views, because I don't go for tons of views. I go for real views. A video within a week, gets several hundred, no more than like 190 to 225. But it was paying for the clicks, and I was also playing with Facebook to get better acclimated with it so I could have success at later times. So what ended up happening was the first 2 days I launched the campaign, I got 2 calls. One of those turned into a client for my client, who is actually another barter. So not only did I get views and the video's starting to creep up in rankings and it'll get natural views, I paid for views too, and I got him a lead, and he actually by now I think he has about 5 leads. Closed 2 of those, and I think each one was about a minimum $300. So he's made about $600. He didn't even know where these people came from because I didn't tell him I was doing it.
Right.
I actually did, and anyone in reputation management, here's something to grow on. I created a testimonial video for a basketball coach that coached my son. I was thoroughly impressed with him. So I made a true heartfelt pros and cons review of his services, and then I had cut myself out and I was on the basketball court, I was sweating because I just got done playing, and on the spur of the moment I made a video saying, hey, if you're looking to take your kids to the next level, you don't want to do a basketball camp, you want to get an actual coach, and it's not as expensive as you think. And then I had my son talk about the coach and his experience and what he thought, and he was like, Dad, you're embarrassing me, I don't want to do this. All that's on camera. And then it cut back over to me. So it was a lot of variables, but the point is you can also combine Facebook advertising to your videos and get twice as good results. Now, you will have to pay, but I don't think a client is going to be upset if they're getting more leads than they thought they were going to get initially. As long as the money is, as long as the amount they're paying you, you can roll back in. That's actually something I've added to my my system is Facebook ads, targeted Facebook ads to those industries that I can actually target to get more leads.
Right. I've seen someone else doing that too. They use pay-per-click as well.
Yeah, I've always run away from pay-per-click. I've been playing with Facebook because I wanted to get the targeting. And that's where a lot of traffic is. And I've seen, I had a few non-successes, but as I start to use it, I'm getting better. And I found my little niche where I was like, okay, I know how to do this, and this can help out. Now, is there a reason that you don't do pay-per call?
Actually, I'm implementing it right now. I just haven't in the past because I've been dealing with attorneys, and attorneys they can't do that. They're not allowed to. And to be honest with you, I've been coaching people how to rank sites and stuff. This is my first product I've come out with. I've had a dozen of them half written, but I've always coached people, and I have coached people that do the pay-per calls. And if you don't pick the right niche in the right area, you possibly only get paid a setup fee, and then you might not get any calls. So I prefer to get paid and know what I'm going to get paid every month. So that's kind of like it. But I think I found a really, really good niche, and I'm not going to share it with anyone tonight. But I think I found a really good niche, and I set something up for someone and forwarded a call. They got 22 calls in like 3 days. So I think I hit a winner. So I'm gonna go.
It seems like a lot of work to me right now, so I'm keeping it simple with flat fees.
Yes.
And as I figure out a niche or whatever, I can always upgrade later. But it's just you get those fake calls, you get robocalls, you got to tune them out, and it's a lot right now for me to think about. So I'm trying to take the path of least resistance.
Right. Well, you can, and like with Analytic Call Tracker, you can set the time limit to what are considered leads and stuff like that. But I'm gonna try it, man, with this thing, because you know what? Worst case is I can just in a second I can turn it to monthly. I mean, now think about it. If I'm going to charge you 30 bucks a call and you're getting 20 calls a week, you know that's 600 bucks. What's that? 600 bucks a week. You want to pay me 600 bucks a month instead? I'm good. You want to pay me 800 bucks a month? I'm good. You know, whatever we negotiate. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how I'd like to do it. All right. Well, we're coming up around 10 o'clock here. It's been about an hour or so. I know we can probably go another 2 hours. So I've had a few folks ask some questions you probably really can't get to right now. So can I have you come back in the next couple of weeks so we can actually do a kind of a demo of your product? You can kind of go into a little more detail.
Sure.
We got to know you now, so we really want to see what you have to, what you got to offer. And I know you have some really good tools and secrets that you can give out and that you do give out.
Absolutely. I'll come back tomorrow if you want. No, I can't do tomorrow.
I'd say next week. Tomorrow I actually got to help my cousin install some cabinets, but next week or the next 2 weeks I'll Skype you and see what we can figure out. But I know it seems like folks are anxious to learn a little more, and I definitely liked what I had seen, so I have no complaints.
Here's what I'll promise you: if you have me back and we do this, okay, I'll promise that I'll show how I get clients, and I'll show you everything that I do, how to get clients. Number one problem that everybody has, right?
Yes. How do I get clients? How do you get clients? I don't want to talk on the phone. What do I need to do? Yes.
I'll show you how I do it. I mean, we have problems getting clients, and our clients have problems getting clients. You know, it's a whole cycle.
True.
I'll be more than happy to show you guys that.
Okay, great. Wait, we have another question. Is there another question coming in here? No, that's Facebook. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your time. I won't hold you up too much longer, but I will be in touch with you within the next 5 or 7 days, so that we can arrange a time for. Matter of fact, I think we'll give it, at least a week or two, so I can send out. This hangout was kind of off the cusp. I was like, I keep telling my list I'm going to get some folks on, and this is my ready aim moment.
Okay.
So we'll set something up, and I'll do the official. You know, I even play around with Facebook more, run some Facebook ads, and see if we can get a bunch of folks on the call. Give me a little time to schedule it.
Okay.
So I'd say in the next 2-3 weeks we can do something.
Sounds great.
And, we'll go from there.
All right.
But in the meantime, I thank you very much, and we will be in touch.
All right.
And
Thank you.
anybody that's watching this, if you aren't on my list, within this hangout in the description, there is a link down there to the Video Ranking Blueprint. You can go sign up for that list, and you will get all the notifications of any video marketing related hangouts or information. When we get back with Joe, I will send an email to that list. So make sure if you're not signed up, you sign up on the link at the bottom of this hangout, and you will be the first to be notified when Joe does his webinar in several weeks.
Thank you again.
And, thank you. All right, good night.
Have a good night.